Hello and welcome to the Circle of Love and Light. I'm your host, Dr. Jane Montrose, and I'm here with my partner and wonderful co-director of Awakenings Institute, Dr. Philip Montrose. We're very excited to be announcing something new that we're doing today. Our topic is opening our hearts and sharing the love, which actually is going to take us to a new ebook that we're sharing with the world for free. So it's been a central focus of Awakenings Institute for around 3 decades now. And we feel it's particularly relevant for light workers, spiritual healers, way showers, and other people like us, especially when there's so much division in the world, which was part of the motivation for putting it out now ahead of the election that's coming up. Philip and I completed this book, which is called The Solution: Make a Difference and Change the World with the Power of Love. We wrote it as a gift to the world, and we want as many people as possible to read it for free. I mean, our ultimate goal, the thing that we would just love to have happen, is that people would understand that love is the solution, that the idea of opening to love would become viral. And we need to change back to the regular view. Good, thanks. That was the cover of the book. So before we begin, as always, I want to thank all of you for joining us and being a part of the circle and contributing as you are to making the world a better place. We appreciate having you here. The circle is here every week, actually, at this time, to light up our lives, help us to heal, to grow, and stand as beacons of light for the world. So if you're here with us live, please say hello. I don't know what happened to I lost the comments, which should be here somewhere. Hold on. I just want to be sure to see. Yes, I see Barbara Clark has joined us. Good morning. Glad to be with you today. And we're glad that you're with us too, Barbara. So thank you for joining us. I also just want to take a really brief moment to settle in together. And an easy way to do it is just to start focusing on your breath. If you can close your eyes for a bit, that's fine. And focusing on your breath, breathing in love and light from the universe. And allowing yourself to become more present in your body. A lot of times we come to things from busy activities elsewhere. And if we can just come back to simply being in our bodies in the moment and breathing, it can make a big difference. This is something you can do anytime during the day if you feel like you're kind of stuck in a momentum or just kind of out of touch with where you actually are. I see Nikki's here too. Nikki Wood, good morning to you and thank you for joining us. So to begin, I'd like to turn to you, Philip, and ask you why the power of love and this topic in general is important to you.
Yes, it made me think of some poetry that is a good way of expressing love. The famous poem by Emily Dickinson, "How Do I Love Thee? Let me count the ways I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight for the ends of being in ideal grace." And when we're in that state truly of love, it is that sense of grace and sense of depth and breadth. And also Shakespeare, love is not love when alteration
When it
finds.
alters, yeah, that
When it
love is
alters,
not love, that love is not love that alters when it alterations finds.
When it doesn't change, it's
Right.
an ever fixed mark. And it really is the answer, love, of living your life fully and connected to yourself and to others. And sometimes it's called having an open heart, to be in a loving place, which it makes you more aware and sensitive, also discerning with your your brain, your intelligence, your thinking too, and make you more intuitive as well.
Right. Yeah. To me, I think if you, and Philip and I, as many of you know, have been trainers and actually learners. We continue to learn all the time of, excuse me, spiritual growth, and really focusing on spiritual healing, different healing techniques that help people to clear burdens that are holding us down energetically. And there are just amazing things that you can do that we've discovered and learned too. And with all of those things that we've learned, to me, the most profound is that the deeper meaning of our lives and the meaning of being here in this reality is always about returning to love. The heart, which resonates with love, is at the center of our being. If you understand how the energy field works, it is the, you could say, a spiritual bridge. It is the place within us where we actually can find truth, where we can open to love. And actually, when we do that, we naturally become beacons of light and love for the world. So this isn't something where you have to focus and like, I have to do this now. It's actually just opening. It's letting go of the burdens and opening to love. And then you naturally become a beacon. When you do that, you are a beacon of love for the world. And I think it's interesting, Philip mentioned the Bible. Jesus, his message was and still is, love one another even as I have loved you. And this is not about being Christian. We could actually quote from other sources also. It's just an example. It's always about remembering what the central focus of life is, to me.
Right. It's easy to forget that among our many concerns and busyness,
right,
and distractions and momentums. And sometimes we put our survival and material things so much in the forefront that we forget the connectedness and the love and the lessons we're learning at a deeper level.
Right. Yeah. And it simplifies it. If you can understand what we're doing is returning to love, and it's spiritual growth and all of these things. We tend to make it kind of complicated. It's part of what we do here. But it is pretty simple. It's always about returning to love. And one way also of understanding that and understanding the heart, the thymus gland, which is right here, it's kind of a central focus of the heart. It's the gland that is the ruling gland for the heart chakra, the energy center that's right in here. It's associated with aliveness. So you could say it's the seat of our aliveness, and meaning that when we're connected with love and when through our understanding and opening to the truth in the heart, we live by its guidance, because it does provide guidance, like the heart knows, and we know that as a society. Even if we follow our hearts, we feel more alive, and that's better for everything. It's better for our health, it's better for our spiritual well-being, and it's almost a no-brainer. And yet our society, there are forces in our society that encourage us to be in states that are more associated with stress and fear and anger and anxiety and confusion. And frankly, I feel there are forces in our society that want to hold us down. We can actually turn that around and focus on things that bring our energy up, which actually we mention a lot of those in our book. Philip, would you like to kind of give an overview of what is in the book that is available to anyone on the planet for free?
Yeah,
Who can read English, of course, at this point?
I'll put the cover of it, which Jane designed. It's a really nice little cover of this book, The Solution. It's a very short book of 30 some odd pages. and it's something that is very easy to read and understand, but rather profound.
Right.
And the first part is on perspectives on the power of love, and the second part becoming part of the solution, what you can do. And specifically, just a little brief summary of what is in those parts. In part one, we show you the experiential model of love, which means how you can start experiencing it yourself, and also then the scientific model. And in science, there's HeartMath, which talks about the fluctuations, the energy in the heart, and it becoming coherent when you're in a calm state and resilient. And in the brain, in neuroscience, there's quite a bit of studies that the part of your brain which is more altruistic, is more selfless, thinking of others and compassionate, that part actually helps your brain make connections within your physical brain. Interconnections grow, and your brain physically grows, and it changes the structure in a healthy way of your brain. Neuroplasticity, it's called. So there's a lot of scientific data about love.
Yeah,
And
pretty amazing.
And historically, there's a lot of profound wisdom, and in many sources, it talks about the golden rule, which I'm sure we've all heard of, and we forget sometimes. Do to others as you would have them do to you. But that theme is in virtually all the major religions. Islam, none of you believes until he wishes for his brother what he wishes for himself. In Judaism, what is hateful to you, do not to your fellow man. This is the law. All the rest is commentary. And then even well-known people in history, Plato, Socrates, and of course, well-known people today, Oprah Winfrey and Wayne Dyer and so forth. They all have a very similar message because of the profound eternal truth about love and being kind and loving to other people. And forgiveness is part of that. So the second part of the book is what you can do about it.
Can I just mention
go
for a
ahead.
moment? So the first part has, as Philip mentioned, 3 different perspectives on the power of love. And those are intended to help people to understand it in a way that makes sense to them, because some people will relate more to the science, some may relate more to the golden rule, the religious or spiritual aspects, and others might relate more to the experience of it, which we're going to have today. And of course, I feel like a lot of times we're speaking to the choir in a way, people who already understand this. And what we'd like to do is reach more people, because I think that everybody can benefit from this. It's Barbara Clark says it always comes back to love and joy. And she says true joy, which she distinguishes from happiness. We talk about happiness in the book because it's a more common way to describe it. Because when you're happy, when you're joyful, your spirits are up and you're actually in a vibration that's closer to joy. So I think that's the purpose of the first part. And then the second part, Philip will go into that more now, is really about some practical tools that you can use to change things.
And we have a chapter on taking charge of your destiny, things that you can do to be more intentional, more aware in your life. And this little book can be a kind of a guideline on that, give you some suggestions on what you can do and what you can't do. That's part of understanding it as well. And also we have these 10 simple prescriptions for feeling good every day, little things you can do, like smile to the world and look at the positive, and different practical things, a lot of them very simple things, getting out in nature. And we conclude the new book, The Solution, Make a Difference and Change the World with the Power of Love. We conclude with the next step for humanity. So this is where we're all going, to a more open-hearted place and speaking from a deeper, heartfelt place.
Right. Yeah. And there are our prescriptions. We call them prescriptions because these are simple things that maybe take a very little amount of time, or actually in many cases, no time, like slowing down and breathing. We're breathing anyhow. So if we can be more aware of how we can use the breath to our advantage, that's a good thing. Just slowing down and breathing and opening to actually all the love that is here, all of the support that we receive from the higher realms, from the universe, from God, from the angels, whatever you believe, just opening to all of the love and the sense of oneness, the oneness that we get from nature. Breathing can help to support that. And ideas that are very practical, like going with the flow and cooperating with things you can't change. You know, a lot of times we expend energy on things that we can't do anything about, and it doesn't really help us in any way. It confuses us and it makes things seem more complicated, when actually if we can focus on the things that we can change, we can make a bigger difference. So opening to love is one.
So you need to be discerning, kind of be aware of what's going on, not put your head in the sand, the ostrich effect, and then know how to respond. Some things, what can you do? You can just acknowledge that and try to keep your energy up and keep yourself in a more loving, receptive place and not get brought down by challenging situations.
Right, right. It seems, just from our experience doing healing, like opening to love is a key for healing any wound. And in the scientific part, in part one, where we talk about the science, we talk about stress, because stress is such a large factor in society, and it's kind of, in a way, it's taking people in the opposite direction. Like love is up here with gratitude and joy and kindness and aliveness, all of those things, miracles, magic, they're all up there, you know, in that higher vibration. Stress is down there with fear and anger and anxiety, confusion, frustration. Just saying it, actually, I can feel we do a word exercise sometimes where you say a series of those words to yourself, like fear, stress, anger, anxiety, and I can feel the energy in my body kind of waning. And then you go to love, joy, gratitude, miracles, magic, happiness, kindness. And my whole body wants to straighten out and it feels more alive. It's a fact that chronic stress has a negative impact on our health. It's been associated with just about every disease imaginable. And unfortunately, the majority of people, at least in the United States, report that they experience stress on a regular basis. It's not our natural way of being. The fact that actually it's in a way it's shortening our lives, where love actually, it's been shown that opening to love does lengthen our lives. In other words, it produces more youthfulness and longevity.
Right. So if you are excited about being here and what you're going to do and learn and give and share and create, you're going to feel better and be healthier.
Right.
And the opposite is true too. If you're focusing on the negative and dreading and so forth, you don't want to really be here.
Right. And Buddy, our dog, he senses, he joins us every week for the circle because he loves the love. He's smart, aren't you?
He's loving
yes, he
the love.
is. He's always wanting to be here. Sometimes he goes for a ride, but today he's here. And I see Nikki says, "You make me smile." Nice.
Yes.
And that's good. It's good to smile. It's good to laugh.
Smile's a big thing, is smiling and laughing when it's done genuinely and from a heartfelt place. It's a wonderful way to lift your energy and see the absurdities, the ironies, the odd connections of life and living, and all the weird things that happen to us.
Yeah. I want to say also Sharon Williamson is here. She says good morning.
Yes.
And Barbara Clark, Sharon. Buddy, she wants you to know she loves you. She loves Buddy.
Oh,
yes, I think nice. I love Buddy too. Dogs are so wonderful when that
I love
with
Buddy
love.
like you love Buddy.
Yeah. He doesn't care that his name is one of the most common dog names. It's a great name for him. He's a wonderful buddy.
He doesn't mind.
No.
Another interesting example I thought of or noticed. We've been watching America's Got Talent, Jane and I, a little bit, and when the contestants come on in this talent show, the immediate reaction to them is really kind of based on their energy before they almost say or perform their act. So if they're in a smiling, positive, uplifting, connected place, sometimes they're very nervous, but they're still in a kind of a vulnerable, authentic place. The audience generally really likes them and supports them.
Yeah,
And if
they
they're,
want them to succeed too.
and they're very, but if the person is sort of kind of hostile or very arrogant or disconnected really from other people, then of course the audience doesn't respond well. So that's sort of an example of love versus not love, being in a loving state, what it can do.
Right. Well, I think also even in a place like that, the audience can sense the soul in what people are doing. And I think that is also, if you want to connect with your soul, just connect with the truth in your heart. It is like a buddy. It's heart and soul. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Buddy agrees thoroughly.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Pause up from Buddy.
Right. Anyhow, it is, there's that idea of following your heart. It's not just something we say that is meaningless. It's something we say that reveals truth, like many things. So many of these things we say almost unconsciously, and we say heart and soul. But very few people understand that it is through an open heart that you can connect with the truth in your soul. I think many people feel that they have no possibility of connecting with the soul, or if they do, it would just be, some random thing that might happen once or twice in their lives. It's not. You can do it now. Just breathe in love and open to the love in your heart. Interestingly, also, the soul understands the magnificence in you. Opening to the love in your heart is a wonderful way to also to start to overcome all of those beliefs, negative beliefs that we have, or limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves. Like, I'm not worthy. I'm not smart enough. I'm not this or that enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm, the wrong something. We're not. None of us are. And we're all here for a reason. We're all magnificent spiritual beings who are here for a reason. And that's a different perspective. That thought alone, I think, can eliminate a lot of stress. It really, when we first started doing we have a process we do called Soul Center. We're going to do in the meditation today a variation on that, a version of it. When we started to do that, which was in the late 1980s, it changed my whole life. At that time, I was in a really dark place. I felt I was an architect and I was not happy with what I was doing. And on some level, which I didn't really understand what I was saying, but I felt like my soul was dying. And I had no idea what that meant, but it was like, remember I mentioned aliveness, the life energy was draining from me, which I see now as an indication that I was going in the wrong direction for myself, that I needed to change. And when I started opening, every day I would do a meditation in the morning to open to the love in my heart. And I experienced a dramatic change within a week. And whenever I asked from that perspective of the love in my heart about who I was, I always received positive messages. And it was so reaffirming to me because I didn't feel that at the time.
Right, following your passions, your heartfelt desires. And that may sound to someone like, wow, this sounds like some kind of big seismic change that I have to do, and it may eventually get to that, but generally it starts with very small things. During the day, I might just feel like I need to go outside and walk in the backyard, or just go out in the front yard for a moment, or and just look around. That is very motivating for me. That's refreshing. That's in the moment.
Mhm.
That feels good, and it's not a big thing. It's an easy thing to do, and there's a lot of little easy things from just how you breathe, how you sit, what you're thinking on, what you're focusing on, changing the channel or turning off the channel. Little things can
Right.
make a big difference in that, especially cumulatively over time, because you're creating these pathways, these patterns. So that's
New
what you
neural
do
pathways in your brain.
in your brain. Your heart
Yeah.
is opening up, is more resilient,
Hmm.
and so that's creating a fulfilling life. The big picture is your life is becoming fulfilled, and over time that creates a wonderful life. And you just start off slowly and do it bit by bit.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it is, there are things like Philip said that are just kind of naturals in terms of having the right impact on us. And I think this might be a good time to do the meditation, because in the meditation I can talk a little bit about how we're doing these things. So does that sound good to you, Philip, now?
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. So the thing to do to begin, if you're in a place where it's safe to close your eyes and you feel guided to do that. If you don't want to close your eyes, fine. But it's easier to tune into your inner world if your eyes are closed. Another thing about just energetically in the body, if you sit up straight, the energy flows more freely through the body. So we recommend not slouching over in a meditation, but continuing to sit up straight and tall, and just closing your eyes and starting to breathe. Again, what we want to do, the initial thing, is to shift our focus from all of the thoughts that go through our rational mind in our head, because they can take us in the wrong direction very easily. I think, as many of us know, probably most of us, our thoughts just go on kind of randomly. So just start breathing love and light from the universe. You may believe in angels and guides. You may believe in the Creator, in God. Just invite all the love from them to come to us. Just breathing in that love and light now. And noticing where the hurt of humanity is. I mentioned before, there's that place of fear and anxiety and stress and limitation. All of that creates a sense of being separated from one another, and separated from our Creator, from God, from Source. We feel like we're alone, kind of alone in the wilderness, in the midst of others who are also feeling alone. And as we breathe in love, we can start to feel lighter. So we breathe in love and light, and you can imagine surrounding yourself. There is a ball of energy that is your energy field around you. Just fill that with that nice love and light. And you can even ask it to go into all the parts of your body that maybe some of them that feel like they aren't receiving the love that they need. And into the cells. Our cells love love. Love makes them feel more alive. And when our cells are more alive, of course, we're more alive. Just makes sense. So breathing in this way, then just imagine as you breathe in light that you're becoming so light you could start to drift upward. We're going to drift together to a lofty mountaintop, way high up, way beautiful mountaintop that has a panoramic view of the world. So just breathe in that light and allow yourself to drift perfectly and safely up towards the mountaintop. And the thing about doing this is, if you imagine rising up, actually it does elevate your spirits. So breathing in love and light and rising up, that's already lifting our spirits. So we can arrive together all of those who are here in the circle now, through time, through space, wherever and whenever we connect, that we come together as one in a circle on the mountaintop, breathing in now that lofty air, that magnificently pure air that you sense when you're up in the mountains, maybe. And just the perfect gentle breeze blowing by, perfect temperature. And looking out with that magnificent 360 degrees, seeing for miles and miles around us, the magnificence of the world, the beauty of the world around us. And this is another thing that is expansive for the mind and for just for your perspective, is anytime you can get a more expansive view, or even like this, imagine a more expansive view. And as we gaze out over nature, there is a sense of that oneness with nature that is natural. So we start to feel that sense of connectedness now with those beings of light who are supporting us, with the angels, with our Creator, with our guides. And breathing that love into your heart. Just filling your heart with love. And really, it's like turning a key and opening to the love that naturally resides there. So you can focus now. You may even feel like you want to put a hand on your heart. In the center of your chest, on that area around your heart. Breathing that love in, and as it intensifies in your heart, you can feel it starting to radiate out all around you. So it's filling your whole body with a higher frequency of light now. More love, more light. And again, inviting that love and light into every cell. And allowing it to flow out around you, radiating out and surrounding you more with this higher frequency of light. The more you breathe it, the higher the higher the frequency goes, I think. And from that place, you may feel more of a sense of connectedness with everyone in your life, with everyone around you. You may sense more of a feeling of having possibilities. And together we can connect with actually the vision that Philip and I had. It was in the mid-1990s when we live in California, and it was scheduled for a big earthquake to send California into the ocean. And so being in California, we started doing earth healing meditations, and we would sit together. And one time I was leading it, and we sat together, and I asked everyone to imagine what it would be like if everyone on the earth was motivated by love. So we can do that now. Just imagine gazing out from the mountaintop to the planet around you. If everybody on this planet was motivated by love, what might be possible? And when I did this, I saw people smiling and supporting each other and feeling grateful and being kind. And I realized everything would be different. There could be no war because there was no division. All of those divisions, a lot of them illusionary or imaginary, that separate us because of religion or national origin, whatever it is, those would all fall away because we are kind to everyone. No one would starve because we all would care for each other. It's a fact that there are plenty of resources on our planet for everyone, but they're hoarded. And those who hoard, not all, but many of them want to maintain that sense of power over others, which causes an imbalance where some people then don't have enough. If we all love each other and we share equally, we can all thrive. I also sensed and still sense that as we rise in vibration toward love, the solutions to many of the problems that seem insolvable are going to magically appear. And of course, pollution, which is a result really of the negativity around us, will find a solution for that. So you can imagine now in this world where love is the guiding force, there is no pollution. The waters are clean. We care for everything. We care for all of the beings on the planet and the planet itself. So everything thrives. And we all are open to being more creative. We're creators. We're here to be creative. We have something, each of us has a gift to share with the world. That's Foxy, our other little whippersnapper. So we can just imagine all of our creative gifts being shared and being blessed and honored and appreciated. And what does that do for the world? It just makes it an even more joyful and harmonious place, an uplifting place. We inspire one another. And from this experience came something we call Awakening's Dream, which I'm going to read to you now. Imagine a world where love is the guiding force, where the unique gifts that each individual brings receive honor and respect, where all are nurtured in allowing their gifts to blossom, to manifest the joy of living in each moment. Imagine a world where all of nature is also honored, so all may live in harmony and share an increasingly vibrant and beautiful environment. What we imagine we can create starting in this moment. This vibrant world will come into being as each of us empowers ourselves to live the dream now and share it with others. Playing a part in the creation of this dream is my dream, and it is the mission of Awakenings Institute. And as I mentioned, in this dream, there's no poverty because everyone is nurtured and loved. This love also eliminates the focus on fear and separation as we bridge the divisions created by race, creed, and national borders to coexist together in harmony. The environment also synchronously benefits everyone as people all over the world shift their world to a more holistic approach that creates balance rather than congesting our home planet with chemicals and toxic fumes. Increasing our connections with our wholeness, which we may experience as God, the creator, source, or simply oneness, brings us closer to making this dream a reality. We have an inherent connection with divine order. As we evolve spiritually, we unite more with our inner wisdom, which in turn strengthens our connection with all that is. This evolutionary quest is an upward spiral, taking us to higher levels of consciousness and wholeness. So we can just be together in this place of love now. And as we return to our normal waking states, we can bring this consciousness with us. And the more we do that, the better it gets for everyone, for ourselves and our families. Just bringing these ideas into our families can really transform lives. And of course, on a larger scale, if we can share the solution with others, with people maybe who wouldn't hear all of this, we can help to raise the vibration on the planet to a place where we can have this more loving world. So we can now imagine just drifting gently back to your seat where you started and feeling grounded to Mother Earth, the loving Mother Earth, who is very grateful for anything we do to promote love on the planet. And I'm breathing in more active energy, coming back to our normal waking states. Just breathing and taking your time. When you feel ready, you can open your eyes. I love that it seems like you get to that place where there almost are no words, or there words are not needed anymore. How was that for you, Philip?
It was very peaceful, very calming.
It's interesting. We originally had this dream almost 20 years ago now. We're kind of like the some of the early early starters of all of this, I think. But it has brought us to where we are now, and I'm very, very grateful for that, to have had this opportunity and to share it in our programs and courses with other people and help others to transform their lives. So it's been wonderful. And now I feel like we're entering a new phase where the energy on the planet actually is expanding to a point where we can have an impact with love. And as we open more, we become brighter beacons of light. We can open more ourselves and invite others to join us, and we can change the world. I don't know of anything else that could do it. Barbara Clark says, thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Babs. So this is the part of the circle where we share the light with the world. We have, this is a little spongy planet. And just imagine that world. Buddy wants to eat it or play with it at least, huh? Just imagine that world filling with more and more love. And we invite any suggestions. You can reach us easily on Facebook. We have I think the website right now, the website to get the book for free, and you can just direct all of your friends, anybody to it to get their copy for free. It's called getthesolution.org. Very easy to get it. Just when you go there, on the main page, there aren't many pages on it, but if you just scroll down a tiny bit, you'll get to a button that will say that you can get your book for free, and it just takes you right to the book, which opens, and then you can save it to your own computer and use it. If you want to recommend it, we would prefer actually having send people to this website, because we're trying to track a little bit how many people are interested. It's fine also to share the book, but we prefer to have just to get a sense of how many people are downloading. And if you have any suggestions, we certainly appreciate them. You can connect with us on Facebook. Both of us are Philip Montrose and Jane Montrose. We're both on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way. So any other thoughts about that, Philip?
No, that seems complete.
Okay, wonderful. Nikki says, I needed to hear this. I forget so often. And we do. Another, just before we close on that note, a way to remind ourselves is to always, every day, have a goal to wear something that has a heart on it. And it's easier probably for women. I have a lot of bracelets with hearts. I have necklaces with hearts. I also keep them around, you can have, this is one of my favorite things, a selenite heart. A selenite is an amazing stone that it clears energy. So if you hold it, it's going to raise your vibration just by holding it. You could
Yeah,
have bookmarks with hearts on them.
here's a little
Just have
stone I
hearts.
have.
Yeah, have hearts. Yeah, or things that say love. You can put them, have little magnets on your refrigerator. Just put them all around
Yeah.
you to
What
remind
you
you.
have around you is an extension and a reflection of who you are. It's feng shui, as you know, and the art of placement. So if you're placing loving things, pictures, images, symbols, stones, you're going to
Right.
have more love in your life naturally.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And actually that makes me think, I think I'll draw a card from the Work Your Light Oracle before we close, since we have time. We use Oracle readings a lot, and the Work Your Light Oracle is a really wonderful one for getting guidance. So I'm going to just ask for insights on the value of opening to love for us individually and collectively, and see what we get. So what I have is a card called Leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. Amazing, isn't it?
A leap of
this
faith,
right.
a leap of love,
Let me see. This is it.
love leaping.
Right, just a
It's a new trend.
beautiful leap.
Maybe it'll go viral, love leaping.
Love leaping, right? I'm going to see what it says in the book here. This is one thing about this one. You have to look it up to find where the information is. So this is on page 72. It says, life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap. To throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you are being called to leap toward. I hope you do here. Or away from, but scared to make the move. Or maybe perhaps you are waiting for a big fat sign or an instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. Incredible. Somehow I really love this Oracle deck. It seems to, it really seems to get, I'm going to actually keep this one. I have a little place where I put them sometimes just so I can look at them again.
You want to show the card again, Jane?
Yes, it shows a
love
a
leaper.
beautiful leap. It looks like leaping, and there's I guess that's the moon behind the leaper.
Yeah, life is an experiment. There are no guarantees, but if you follow your heart, open your heart, follow the love, good things happen. Do it in a grounded way. Some people are more risk taker than others, so they have to look a little bit more before they leap. But other people are so cautious, you almost have to push yourself, to get going. But
right,
you know where you are in the spectrum.
Right. Well, and this is a very safe leap. I've never heard of anyone opening to love and having having a negative response. Actually, all of the quote prescriptions that are in the book are completely non-invasive, and they have a way of actually raising your vibration, which means that positive chemicals are flowing through your body free of charge.
It's 100%.
It's almost
organic,
like a no. It's almost like a no gain. No, what is it? No.
No brainer.
No brainer.
That's for weight, no gainer.
No
But
gainer.
the book is 100. The book is 100% organic, isn't it? The solutions.
Yes. Well, there's nothing invasive. There's nothing. It doesn't involve eating or drinking or anything. No surgery involved.
No side effects.
It's just easy. It's breathing. Says another one. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Oh gosh. I'm just reading a couple of these messages.
As we're closing here.
From Babs from Barbara. She says, In order to leap, you need to trust that love will catch you.
Yes.
But one of the things in the Bible is love never fails.
Mhm.
You can only trust if you know that what will catch you, oops, that moved, is loving is there. It is. It's there for all of us. So, and Lula's here. Lula Mora, another one of our co-hosts. She says, "The Solution, it's a profound and beautiful book. Please read it and share it with the world." And that's all we ask. Just share the love. So I think that we're close to being done. Philip, do you want to share what's going on at Awakenings Institute these days?
Well, yes, we're still doing our Akashic Records course, tinyurl.com/Akashic-course. So that's a wonderful exploration.
Yeah.
And I think people would really like that. We have our free resource kit, the Light Worker Kit too, which people, if they don't have that, they could opt in. And that is some of our other new book. We have quite a few books where you get the Loving Power of Your Soul excerpt and some Happy Tap Holistic EFT video and more resources for light workers and spiritual healers and people probably watching this show.
So do you have a URL for that or a tiny URL?
That's I can't remember.
Well, they can get
yes,
it right on the
yeah,
main.
I've got it. tinyurl.com/spiritual-kit. tinyurl.com/spiritual-kit.
Wonderful. Yeah, and that'll take you to our website, which is gettingthrough.org, gettingthrough.org/holistic. That's the main page. And I think that it's right. I think it's right there on that page. We use tiny URLs just because they're shorter. And let's see.
Getting Through is getting THRU.org.
Right. So yeah. It's interesting. The brain tends to want to fill it in with the long version, but it's actually the idea of it is that it's a shortened version.
Yeah, get through faster that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I also want to mention that if you want to learn more about the circle, you can find us at circleofloveandlight.org, and there are some free gifts for you there too. You can also support the circle by liking our page. You can share this video with other people. I'm saying liking our page, actually, I'm thinking of Facebook, Awakening Circle of Love and Light. You can also invite your friends to join you in the circle, and then you have something to share each week. And the way we always close the circle is by sending all of this love and light forward to the week ahead for you. So you can just imagine now filling the whole week ahead with love and light, sparkles, rainbows, whatever appeals to you, so that you can have the most delightful and wonderful week.
And hearts.
Exactly. Yes. A few hearts are good too. So thank you so much again for joining us, and have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.